Wayne Gardner, 1987 500 Grand Prix world champion. I'll never forget Wayne's 1990 Phillip Island Grand Prix. It was a lesson in gritty determination. He started the race with a broken scaphoid, high-sided almost off the bike during the race, broken fairing dragging on the road, and he went on to win the race. Wayne had 51 500 podiums, 19 pole positions, and he won 18 500 Grand Prix. The best of all those races? Let's hear it from the man himself.
Hi everybody, it's Wayne Gardner. How are you? Topic of the day is, and I get asked many times, what was my most memorable race and the reason why? Well, I've had many great opportunities, many great victories, many amazing results in my life, but one that really stands out to me is without a doubt the Phillip Island Grand Prix in 1989. I mean, I've had two victories there. 89 and 90, but the first one at Phillip Island is probably the most memorable because it all was a follow-up from the interest in my career. So it really all started when Bob Barnard approached me the year before in 1988 about getting my help and support to bring a Grand Prix to Australia. And Bob was the promoter of the Adelaide Formula One GP before it moved to Melbourne. And he had this great idea. He said, your name's pretty big and and a good following from yourself, and now Mick's coming as well. So he said, I'd like to do something in Australia. So I said, look, I don't know if there's time, and when do you want to do it? He said, the next year in 89. I said, what track? He said, a place called Phillip Island. He said it's a dilapidated old dirt track, basically, and he said, I need your help and support to get it past the politicians and to obviously get federal support and to get the media coverage to obviously get a lot of people there. So the journey began there 1 year before, 89. And of course, I went and had a quick look at the track, and all it was a billy goat track. There was sheep wandering across it. It was grass growing through the pavement. And of course, I just said, you've got to be kidding. You're never going to get this in time in 1 year. And he said, no, we will, I will. So I believed in him, and I went back to Europe and went racing, and hopefully on to more victories. And the popularity kept growing, which was good. But I was also committed to promote the event. So now leap forward to the next year, to 89. The season was running well. Phillip Island race was, I think, in October. And we'd been testing there. I was fast. The circuit was fantastic. I love the circuit because it was flowing and fast. And Mick and myself were setting lap records after lap records, and we were really pleased about it. I love riding there because it's a bit like dirt track racing, but on the bitumen. Anyway, come to 1989, the first race, testing went well. We were looking really positive. Went out into qualifying. Didn't quite go as well as I expected. Kevin Schwantz was the fastest, and he put on pole, and I think I was either second or third on the grid. I was a little bit apprehensive about the race. I thought, I'm not sure how we're going to go here. I wasn't too confident of the victory, but, and also nerves got to me. I was actually exhausted, to be honest, before the race, because I'd done 3 months of running around Australia promoting the event and to get as many spectators as possible to come, and through radio stations, TV networks, magazines, etc., etc. So it was a big haul before this race, and I was actually exhausted. And I remember saying to Don at the time, I'm too tired to go out there. I'm exhausted from all the media build-up and the expectation for everybody. They got 100,000 people there that weekend. It was just amazing. And lined up on the grid, obviously, and the race was off. I didn't make a particularly great start. I think I was running in about 4th place on the first lap. And as we come over Lukey Heights, which is over the top of the hill and down into the bottom of the tight right before the last 2 corners, I was following Kevin Schwantz. Kevin was lightning in, as I said, in qualifying and in practice. But he ran wide, and he grabbed a handful of throttle trying to get back on, because I think at the time it was Wayne Rainey in the lead and Christian Sauron right in front of us. And I was just going to follow him, and the next minute he has this almighty high side right in front of me, and it catapulted him on the opposite side of the bike, and I was apprehensive, which way do I go here, left, right, and but I just kept up I just kept the concentration, pulled hard right, tried to get back on line, and Kevin slid across the road, and I just missed him by millimetres, which was, thank God for that, for hitting him and the bike. Anyway, the leaders made a break on me after that. And then I just went, well, I'll try and settle down and try and get some momentum and some pace in the race, and started catching up, caught up with them. And then we started changing places for the lead. I think it was a battle between Kevin McGee, Christian Sauron, Wayne Rainey, myself. I think even Tyra might have been there as well. It turned into an almighty battle, and I think there was 18 or 19 changes for the race lead. Super exciting over 25 laps. Then in about 5 laps, my plan was at that time, I tried to lead for a while and get away, but I couldn't. So I tried to slow the pace down, and all got an assemble and and it's a great track for drafting and keeping together, unfortunately, when you're in the lead. And I tried to make a break, as I said, but I couldn't do it. So then I settled down and went, right, I'm going to make a push real hard, either 5 laps or 3 laps from the end. So I kind of got myself into position by lap 5 to get into the lead by lap 3 to go, and obviously past Sauron and Rainey and so on. And then I thought, you know what, I'm in the lead, I've got to push now. I've got to push really hard for 3 laps without making one little mistake, whether it's a slide or overbrake and run wide or whatever. So focused really, really hard. Managed to get, on the last lap, I was pushing harder than I ever had. I went into the first corner on the last lap, which is the fast right at the end of the straight at 330 kilometres an hour. I went in deeper and later I've ever done in my life and scared the shit out of myself. And there was some ripples in there, and I had the front wheel tuck, but luckily I had enough weight back on top of the bike to pull the bike back up, and didn't really lose any time. But it was certainly a little scary moment, but it was only a minor one, thank God, and managed to get my act together for the rest of the last lap. Lost no time in that. And then just kept pushing and pushing, even into Siberia. I pushed in really hard into that, got it turned and fired it up the hill. Once I got past Siberia, I knew across the barn and up over Lukey Heights, I knew I should be okay. But I wasn't game to look around, because you're just trying to focus as much as you can. And then, of course, onto the main straight, and I pushed really hard in the last corner. And in fact, I think I just about ran onto the dirt again, and went on to the victory by about half a second or 0.3 or something. It was pretty close, but that was an emotional thrill, something I'll never ever forget. I remember looking at the crowd and they were cheering me on, and that gave me extra energy during the race. It was very inspirational, and being the first event in Australia, and it was there because of my following my career, and it was just emotionally amazing event. As I said, I've won a lot of races, but not as good as that. And most people remember me riding around, and I grabbed the Australian flag. Well, when I grabbed that, I rode around really proud to be Australian, proud to be the first event in Australia, and proud to win it. Obviously everyone piled onto the track, and they were backslapping me, and it was against the rules to walk on the track, but the whole track was swamped with people, and eventually got back to the pits or the paddock, and Donna ran up and was hugging me and kissing me, and then we had to go up on the podium, and Bob Barnard was on the podium, and everyone was super elated and super proud. And I remember looking down at all the crowd cheering. They were in front of the podium, and it was Wayne for PM, Prime Minister, and I'll never forget that moment. Pretty special. It's in the record books, and I'm super proud, and an event and a time that I'll never ever forget. Thanks guys for listening. Bye.